Hello, everybody. My name is Lou Jensen, and this is the weekly get-together of the I&E Network. We've been a gang of creative, artistic people for many years. Since 1983, we started this circle of support to help people discover their talent, develop that talent, master it, eventually something, and then learn how to share it in the marketplace. And we've had a lot of fun over the years together. Everybody here tonight are our gang, people that are members of the I&E Network and have bought an engraving, carving, power crafting series of equipment and package and training from us over the years. We've had quite a time with this little idea. Everything that started in 1983 has gradually evolved into what we have now as a circle of talent that I think has a legitimate chance of changing the future of handmade things. We've started an 8-part series a few weeks ago on how to change our selling approach, and we're building a new, what we call the All-Star Sales Team, which will begin to learn how to use digital media to then sell our systems and our package. And so tonight is the last show of that series, and then we go do the work part. And so let me fire it up. We'll go through that. I apologize for getting in late tonight. I had a party with the church that we had to go to and spend a little time with them, and then so I needed to move the show back just a little bit to have enough time to cover all the bases. Isn't that how life goes? You get more coming at you sometimes than you can even deal with. And this week has been extraordinary. Just the most amazing time to have it be a little more than we even bargained for. And yet you still have to get everything done that needs to get done. And that part to me is the part that I try and pay attention to the most. Show 8 is going to be maybe the cream of the crop, the best of the 8. Trying to get to a point where we begin to realize what we really have as new tools, the new trick for selling. And if we look at where we've been doing our webinars together in this particular gang for 9 years now. This is our 9th season. And I always started in September because that's when the company was formed. And then we take it through the fall, which is the best quarter of the year. We play mostly with custom personalization and custom produced artwork. And so when you're at a point in your life you're running into what we call opportunities, the real interesting fact is that you've got to figure out what you're going to do next. What would most help next, or what could we most accomplish next, and then persist. All of you know that I've been working with Jack Solomon's collection. He's got $40 million worth of art in his homes, and we're trying to find a place for that collection to land now, and we think we've finally gotten some circumstance that probably is going to work out. And I'm doing a piece of crystal for the president of the university this weekend so that we can make that presentation to him first of the week. And what that will do is gradually then begin to open up even more doors of opportunity. And I love chasing those circumstances. I've learned how. I'm quite good at it now, and I just love the chase. You've seen the commercial on TV for Dodge now that says everyone loves the chase. And man, when you got a chance to pull off something and make it work, there's a habit pattern in there that really gets addictive, something that you just absolutely love, making it work and then making it work better. Okay? I've talked forever about aiming your life because that's what I think I did, was decide early where I wanted my life to go, and then I've taken my life in that direction ever since. And a lot of people don't. They get up every morning not knowing what next they're going to work on. But you should go to bed every night with a plan of what can I get out of tomorrow that might be really helpful to me in the long run of where I'm heading and what I want to do. And then you can try and try and try again. This whole period of time now with this new all-star selling team, we're going to build a machine, a selling machine, a way of finding inquiries, drawing them into customers, turning them into ongoing patrons, and then pulling power people into your life as well. This is a mini oil well we're going to drill in your backyard. Now, in the eight show series, I've tried to put in these different particular concepts that we have learned in the 35 years of the business that help make it work. We're selling a much more involved package at a bigger price. All kinds of factors that would say this can't work or this shouldn't work, except that it has. And so what we're doing now is sharing with the I&E people that want to participate, those of you that want to do this, those things that we think actually turn it into a successful selling machine. Once you begin to realize that if you've got enough of a relationship with somebody that you can interact with them on a 6-time basis, and you bother to do that, this outbound calling, this bothering to connect with them part of selling is what we have to do. There's just no way around that. And as you begin to realize how far we can reach now with Google Plus and social media as a whole, I just can't get over the future. I look at it all and I think, my good Lord, what we've started one day I think is going to be a very significant entity. I love the I&E network, and I love Profitable Hobbies. I love the concepts that we've put in place, and they've matured now for many, many, many years. So every year about this time I'm going to fire up the selling circumstance, and I'm going to continue to do that and continue to do that, because there are no problems in life that sales won't solve. Okay? From the 7 shows, I hope you've made the decision at first that you're going to try something new. I hope that you're going to learn to sell or die trying. I hope that you'll have and build gradually a degree of self-confidence. No question how it's done is learned by doing. I remember the very first show that Jim and I did. We went to where was it? Pasadena. We were in Pasadena at the little convention center they have there. And we set up to do this event, and I had never done anything like that in my life. I was so intimidated. And I began to, Jim was really good. He'd done a lot of it. He did 30 shows a year, so he knew how to do it. But he began to teach me of the things to say and the things not to say. Over the years, we've discovered what we're really selling is hope. So many people tonight are suffering and struggling out throughout the world that just don't know how in the world they're going to grow old and do well, because their income is greatly limited. And what we offer is a great way to extend that. Search for something a little more, okay? Selling is a numbers game, and the number is finding these people and then continuing the relationship until something actually works. And you learn to sell by asking questions. If you're good at asking questions and finding out the things you need to know, then you'll really be good at helping people find a reason to participate with us in a profitable hobby. So if you're hunting for a miracle, that miracle will be found in your doing. To the degree you do and do and do and do and do and do and do, I think the secret is that you enjoy doing. There doesn't seem to be any other reason to kind of play with it. So what we're doing with social media that is different than we've ever done before is this degree of selling of each other. Social media allows you to promote each other aggressively, and I've never seen anything quite like it. It's so unusual to be able to take something in the marketplace and make it work like that. Who's got their mics open? If we got them all now, there we go. Okay, here we are, back to here. In all my business career, I've never seen anything like the smartphone. When Tamika got mine for Christmas for me 4 or 5 years ago, the reason I said, okay, I'll get a smartphone is because I could talk to it and have it text. I didn't have to know how to do the little finger push thing to make texting work. And I was so out of it, I didn't want to even learn to do the texting. But the interesting part is once you begin to figure out how powerful these tools are and what they can really accomplish, it's just absolutely a ball to play with those ideas and those concepts. And so as I was looking through tonight, because we're down now to the 8th and 7th step of this whole selling process is learning to share. And sharing is just another word for promotion, which is you're raising the customer's awareness of a product or a brand and generating sales and creating brand loyalty. It's one of the 4 basic elements of the marketing mix, which include price, product, promotion, and place. So if you don't know those 4 P's of promotion and the marketplace mix, how can you do well? If you're just shooting off the hip and you don't really understand what you're doing, the odds of it succeeding are pretty slim. And if the miracle's in the doing and the way we're going to do things is how you're going to learn, then what we got to do now is not get heavier and heavier into your computers. I want to get heavier and heavier into just the phones. The iPhone and the Samsung are so powerful. They will do anything you want to do. And to be able to create ideas and concepts and post them on the fly is going to be the way it all goes. So first of all, if you don't have a really decent iPhone or a Samsung phone, then we need to start working on getting that. I still prefer the Samsung because of the S Pen. This little pen allows you to compose and create on your phones way beyond anything else that I'm aware of. So to begin with, I'm going to compose things for you to post first. And then I'm going to teach you how to compose things yourself, and then we're going to start publishing and mixing often and grow a supportive circle around each of you and your names. Not a big list, not a lot to do here, but you do have to participate. And there isn't a lot of money to invest unless you need the phone and get the phone a better phone. The little phones and cheap phones aren't very good for this. You really do need to get one of the nicer ones. And you can get it with your contract. We just jumped from Sprint over to T-Mobile. They paid off our old phones, and we got brand new Note 5s, and I think they're $30 a month. So Timewise, it really is the only way to do it, because these are the 2 great assets. You either have to invest a lot of money, or you got to put in a fair amount of time. So let me ask you, just point blank, ask yourself how much you did this week. What did you get done on publishing on the networks? And last week I gave you the first Fishhook, and I'm curious if you got the first Fishhook posted. And I asked you to post it 3 times, but I don't know how many of you even got it up once. This was the body of the text in the post, and then this was the picture that you put in with the post. And I wanted to get it up and then have all of us interact with it. All of us plus one it, all of us repost it, hit the arrow, and keep it going. Because unless we're trying to get comments and trying to get reactions for what we post up, it doesn't help you a whole lot with your visibility on the social media. What you need to do is get good at these reactions and play with it more, okay? If we're going to become known as the Wild Bunch, then we got to do some things. We got to promote each other. We got to have this. When we put in this kind of information into Google search, I want us to dominate it completely. And I think we can if we're hell-bent, all right? I've preached all 8 shows about beginning to get an iconic handle around you and your name, something like this Google crazy. And I'm hoping that you will realize that it's just such simple little beginnings, except the more you do with this here, the more you'll end up with the results that we're really after, which is people begin to figure out what you're doing and how you're doing it. When I finished filming Opportunity Intersection, the last part of it, I did a show called Shared Vision, which is already posted up on the web. And I talked continuously throughout that whole program about controlling your own time, because that is the #1 goal. This is even better than rich and famous. And if you can begin to realize it's the shared vision that will help to produce that for you, then what we're doing is getting to the point where all of a sudden we're really getting strong. When Ron's can publish and is staying in You Be a Better You, and he's continuing to hashtag that and promote that, I hope you'll be good enough every time you see that Ron's published something, you +1 his comment or his post, make a comment in the bottom category, and then repost it. Help nudge Ron along a little bit. Because if you begin to realize that that extra attention that he gets is more than most people would normally get with what they've posted. And every time you see something, you have the choice to react to that picture and image that's been posted or not. And then if you'll come in and hashtag whatever it is you want to have Google pick up and concentrate on, hashtag on a word is absolutely imperative anymore. It separates it even further. And so when you've got this kind of thing feeding and fulfilling everything in between all of us, we're going to get strong. We really are going to get strong. And so if you'll just give it a try, just make your mind up that you're going to do it again, and then you're going to do it again, and you're doing it again. Most who play here to begin with appear to me that they don't see any results early on, so they don't do much of it. And the more you do of it, the more visibility you're going to get. And there's just no way to get around the fact that some, like David, have 40 million views and 300,000, 400,000 people that pay attention to anything that he produces. He does this Sunday read every Sunday morning. There's a very thoughtful post that David puts up. But if you read it and don't +1 it and don't repost it, you're making a big mistake. It's just a tiny bit more effort to help push David on into the marketplace even more. And he does see who does that. You think about it, when he makes a comment to me, 300,000 people see it, have the opportunity to see it. And with this kind of a visibility, why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do more of that, not less? Okay? This kid invented the semantic search concept, and you have to know that if things start to show up here and you don't know, have a clue what 8 semantic SEO will make, you question everything. You need to dig in here a little bit and figure those kinds of things out. And anytime someone has a great hobby, then let's nudge them. Let's follow them. Let's stay involved. Let's +1 them. Let's see if we can't push them along too. Okay? It's not hard to do, but it is something you've got to really be steady with. Okay? We just can't miss a single opportunity. Business out of a hobby is what we're really good at. I've decided something really fun that I want to try between now and Christmas. When I wrote the book, Opportunity Intersection, the first idea was to have a map that people could follow that wanted to start a hobby and turn it into a business. And I wrote the only business plan for doing that. All of the other business plans you'll bump into on the internet and in business and banking are for the things that people need. This is the only one done with aimed at the things that people want. I've got 2 videos. Each of the 7 steps have a video with them. So as I see you get your icon going and you working more with your profile on Google+, then I'm going to send you, the first one is called The Ordinary Miracle, which is the story of our masters. A lot of our masters are in there, and it's an hour-long show that basically promotes profitable hobbies up the kazoo. And if you can find someone by the postings of the fishhooks that we're going to put up, someone reacts at all, then you will automatically have these hour-long things that you can email them and maybe nudge them even further. And they're all done. They're all ready to go. Now, if you send them step 1 of Opportunity Intersection, you can send them the video for free, but the workbook then is $19.95. So send them the video first and let them taste it a little bit. I can't tell you the number of kits that I've sold in the last few years by using Opportunity Intersection as an additional enhancement of the concept, so that once they start meeting us and bumping into us, they begin to realize that there's something really different going on here. That be able to be the kind of person that can stay with it and do something with it makes an alliance between those of us that are staying with it. So if you'll stick with your threads of interest and never let go, I think you'll start to see some results. Now, when I gave you the first one, this fishhook last week, what I did was try and give you the concept in a way that would allow you to begin to create your own inquiries, right? And the really important thing for right now is we don't have a good way of tracking your mixture with people. And it's fairly easy for them to go past you and end up with Tamarie off the website. So what you've got to do is when you see someone and find a name and you grow the relationship to the point you have an email, you need to let Tammy know what that email is so she can plug you into the system. So that makes that fishhook then workable for you. I promise you this stuff is going to come right out of the blue. And I believe that everything happens for a reason, and that there's people that you have a chance to cross paths with who are looking for exactly what you have. And it feels like it just comes right out of the blue, but what if it doesn't? What if there is something going on that is pulling people toward us, allowing us to extend our reach? I can't change the wind, but I can adjust me. You just can't get past that fact that this is what we're up to here. We're not here to try and change somebody else. We're trying to nudge this on into the future and make a name and a reputation for ourselves. Now, Dennis LaBelle, I've asked you to follow him, okay? And so when you've got stuff in here, see Tammy's done it and Ed's done it, and I know that face, but I don't remember the name. This is that dentist friend of mine. So when you have, Dennis wants you to push this on in, and this was a vote by Malaya for the UN to let women be taught world over. And then you follow with Dennis LaBelle, and you see that he's got 530,000 followers. He's one of the top 10 people in all of Google+. So when Dennis finally begins to know who you are and has interacted with you or marked on your profile or somehow staying close with you, look at the reach that you get when you mix with this kind of an individual. To me, this is marketing heaven. This is an alliance that you just can't ignore. So you have all these people who you really should have in your stream every day. Every one of these are the major players. Ron Snaber, I don't see your picture in here with Shervington and Mincer. And no, but Chef Litley knows you.
Well, Shervington knows. Ronnie Bincer knows me. I've been on some blabs with him.
Yeah.
Every one of those people up there I've been in contact with and have commented back to me. So.
Yep. And that begins to make you have a sense and a feeling that I'm doing something right. You just have to realize how influential some of these people are with this kind of a marketing tool. And even though you don't understand it to begin with, the more we can mix with it, the better we're all going to get, okay? So with Fishhook 1, I ask you to post it 3 times this week. And I'd also like you to repost my trace align video on YouTube. I want to drive that and drive that and drive that till that begins to have a decent number on it. The one on the wood carving, we're redoing it right now, and that one has 1.5 million views. But once it gets beyond other YouTube videos, then YouTube will put it up in front of people sooner. So I want you to, once a week, repost the trace align video, and then repost the Fishhook, the first one. Repost it 3 times this week, okay? But make sure if there's a comment at all or a +1, you pull up the activity on the side on your post and also +1 and interact with them, okay? Now the next one I'm going to do Fishhook 2, so we're really going to kind of up the ante now next week. We'll have Fishhook 1 is my post about, I think, profitable hobbies. The next one I'll send you will be the one on Mel. And all of you know what happens when Mel just won his show. He won the Best National Veterans Program, and so we need to all, and you'll say, well, I've seen this. But other people in your stream who are crossing your same stream have not seen it yet. Now, I don't like posting 3 and 4 times in a single day, but I do think it makes a lot of sense to post it 2 or 3 times in the week at different times and launch it, because if they've seen it, they'll just go past it, but if they haven't seen it, they might react to it. And what we're trying to do is get these fish hooks that are going out on a consistent basis, and I'll make them for you for now, but then I want you to put it in, okay? As soon as Tam gets finished, all I did was rough this out, Tam, for you, but I just think that she should really stay on this hashtag the dream keeper when early dreams are fragile, because this is where Tam fits. She has played with so many people in their lives that were trying to figure out, I wonder if I can do this, and she's the one that gives them a shot of confidence that allows them to actually get involved and do it. And what you need to do is create your own, whatever you want here. This iconic image is what we then, all of us, can promote once it's done. And every one of you need to have one of these, something that is your vision of who you might want to become, okay? This little box that we're holding, this little toolbox, is the most incredible self-promoting tool that's ever been, and it is where the entire marketplace is going. You can't not put something up like this that some people are going to react to it. Now, I ask each of you to rewrite this part and post that in the front part of the post, and then put this picture in underneath what you've written. So if you can't think of something to do, then you can put what I've done up, but I really would rather you rewrite something here. Ron has completely redone this to say what he wanted to say. And if you'll bother to do that, then that begins to teach you how to post, how to get something original and put it out. Just about everybody is posting something that someone else has produced. And we've got to produce and post and publish on our own, okay? But if we do it together, we're going to be really, really strong. Now, I ask you to send me a private post, and so all of you that are listening out in YouTube or will see this video later, if I miss you, please come back at it again. Send me a private post on Google+. Do you know how to do that? Remember how I showed you to kill all of the signals of who you sent it to, and then just put my name in there plus Dr. Lou, and then it will send me private and say I need Fishhook 1 and 2 now. Okay? And I'm hoping I didn't miss anybody. I can't remember. I looked through it yesterday and I couldn't see anybody that I'd missed.
Lou?
Yeah, Ron.
I also posted a tutorial, I think you saw it, on how to send a private message, and I purposely sent it because I knew
that's what we're talking about. Yeah. Did everybody see that? Ron posted a how to do this very thing, how to send a private message, because all you do is take out the public, take out your circles, take out anything here, and then go up here and hit the microscope or the search tool, and then put the name of who you're sending it to. So you put Dr. Lou Jensen in here, and then it'll take you back to the post, and you can send me that process. I want Fishhook 1 and Fishhook 2. Okay. Now, as this builds and begins to grow, I'm going to know who I need to work with because of your participation. If your participation level is higher, then I'm going to do more with you as well. If you're just half-hearted and you're not really too dedicated and you're not sure you want to do this, then you'll kind of fall to the side, and that will be fine for me too. I'm not going to drag anybody up this mountain. If there was 30, 40, 50,000 a year in sales underneath you and it could grow till you die that way, why in hell wouldn't you jump aboard and get good at this? We've been selling our kits now for 35 years, and there's a package somewhere in this whole damn world. We've got people all over the country, but it's now beginning to spill to international. Tammy, how many kits have you sold in Africa? Do you know? Can you remember roughly? And how many kits in Japan? We've sold quite a few in Australia too. And we just realize how far this medium can go now, because people do pull it up and they see anything about ProfitableHobbies.com. They'll go see what ProfitableHobbies.com is all about, okay? I've got 72 members of Google Crazy now, okay? And what I want to do is have every one of you, oh, wait a minute here. I went way too far. Here it is, right here. I want each of you to start thinking about starting your own individual community. I'm not sure who has a community, but I'm going to go looking. I'm going to go finding out. And if you've not gone through the process of starting a community, then one of these shows we've got to show you how to do that and get a community launched. Then we'll start launching the other part of what's Google Plus now, is the photographic, what do they call them? Journals, photo journals. And we're going to do that as well, because the more you participate here, the more you mix here, the more you'll be seen here, the more they'll begin to remember who you are because of your individual profile. And I'm just going to try and help each of you to participate more and more and more with this new social media mechanism. Ron is extremely good with this. He's just dove into it like crazy. I think you can add a testimony, Ron, to how much fun it is. It's not like it's something that you absolutely have to do, is it?
No, it is a lot of fun. I've been on some of the live streaming platforms and get a good. I got a good response from that. I'm amazed in just a matter of 40, 50 days how many people have started following me on different places like Twitter, several hundred. Um, it's growing faster than Google Plus did. Although I got to say, Google Plus in the last year for me, I don't know if I lost my numbers from a year ago, but I think that I had 300 people following me and only 38,000 or 36,000 views, and now I have 1,040 followers and 200 and oh gee, I forget what it is. It's over 230,000 views without having a community.
Yeah.
So it's all by posting and contacting, making comments on stuff that I like or what people have written that strikes a chord with me or I think somebody needs to hear, and sharing that.
Follow up, follow through. It's all it is.
And that's how I got the response, and that's how these people that are on Google Plus, if I contact them, they know Ron Snaberger. And I didn't go out after them and hound them. It's just by resharing what they do and favoring what they do. And when I got in contact with them and said something, they said, "Oh, Ron, I'll help you. Yeah, what do you need?" And the part that amazed me that one time when I was on Dennis Litley's Hangout, I sent him a letter and said, you know, I want to tell you who I am and what I do. He sent me an email back. He said, "Ron, I am so glad I heard from you." He said, "I know who you are. You don't have to tell me." And it's like, how do you know who I am? I've never, this is the first time I'm contacting you. But he knew. And it's just by being there, and these people know. Stan Bush knows me. The people that I've admired and thought, gee, I'll never be able to learn what they know, which I won't be able to because they've been doing it for 30 years. But these people know who I am. And I'm not bragging about it, but it's just, that's what you got to do. And like you said, when I make a comment to them and they comment back to me, it goes out to, and all of a sudden now more people know who I am. And that can happen to everybody. It's not just me. I'm nothing special. It can happen to everybody.
Would you bet, Ron, and I'll bet with you this, that if you bumped across paths with Brett Baer and Judge Napolitano now, you were on Fox News one night on a hangout with those two,
yeah,
and I'll bet you they would remember you. I just am confident of that. They go, "Oh yeah, I remember you that day." So it's so hard to do this otherwise. You could spend your whole damn life getting the book done and trying to promote it and maybe never get any degree of visibility.
I know, Lou, when I get my book done, everybody that I've been on their show is waiting and saying, "Ron, you get that book done, we'll promote it for you."
Absolutely. And if it's over on Amazon and it's just sitting there for whatever, it's going to be an ebook. So you don't have to publish anything. You don't have to print anything. Nothing. Just get the damn thing done. They download it off of Amazon, and we'll all help you sell it. What a great thing to do. Well, then we'll do one by Jose. Then we'll do one by Dean. Every one of you need to be getting this iconic image thing going, and then zero in on what should I be selling? What should I be talking about? And you can, it isn't the end of your life. You can change it as you go or add something else to it. There's all these options and mechanisms, but to become a publisher now is huge. This used to cost a gazillion dollars to do, and now we can do it for damn near for nothing. just the participation of it. Tam, could you tell them when we went into the store the other night, we went into the furniture store? We walked in the furniture store and it was so cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, because my computer just doesn't want to stay up with everything. We walk in the door, and the gentleman standing there, the greeter, one of the salespersons, looked up and said, did he call you Dr. Jensen or just called you Lou Jensen? No, he said, are you still selling those drills?
Yeah.
And you could have kind of knocked us over with a feather. It was really kind of fun. And I've had that happen to me. I was in the airport one time and one of the guys pulled out the drill. I was on the way to a show, and it was one time when you weren't with me. And he says, so do you know how to use that thing? And I said, yes. I said,
oh, we lost her.
you've run into some really strange and fun things over the years.
Well, it takes forever, and I know I keep going against this for most people because we're so uneasy about this self-promoting thing. We just don't dare do that. And so I'm hoping to get you past that. If you're going to play in this all-star team and we start selling, and I guarantee you what happens is one of us has got to sell a kit first. Jose sells a kit pretty regularly. He's got something that he's bumped into because he knows how to do that as a part of his shows. But what we need to do is teach each of you how to up that, how to increase that, and make that a more predictable database for every one of you. Because I'm nearly done here. I'm almost finished. I try to stay involved and help you in every way I possibly can to think of what might continue to help each one of you. But I have never in my life seen a tool like these smartphones now. It is the most incredible marketing promotional tactic with the equipment and then the social media platforms. They're just unbelievable. And trying to figure out, okay, we can't do them all, guys. There's no way you can learn to do 10 or 15 different show formats at once. We're going to take on the one format in Google Plus, and we're going to drive it home and make it work. Then once that's beginning to work, then we can go on and nudge it on into the others. But this continuous little promotional mixing now, please take those three things, republish Trace a Line, the video DVD I've got up over on YouTube, my YouTube account, republish that once a week, repost that once a week with a comment. Put something in there that you're learning to say, you're learning to express yourself, you're learning to try and make a sentence on the front end of a post that snags somebody's interest. Then do Fishhook 1, which is the one I put up about Trace a Line and profitable hobbies. And then Fishhook 2 now will be Mel, and we'll nudge him a little bit too. So I'd like to see each of you do Fishhook 1 3 times this next week and Fishhook 2 3 times this next week. So that's 6, 7 posts. Okay. Let's see how we do. If you guys remember 2 years ago when we got the chance to nudge Robin Colson's possibility with the American Family Insurance Dream Competition. Without us nudging Robin, she would not have had the chance, and she would not have won, and she would not have come here and got her $10,000 and come here for training. She would not have crossed Craig's path. They would not have fallen in love. I mean, there's just a lot of things that happened here that are just very unusual. And so for each of us, we just don't realize the potential and opportunity that's sitting right under your nose. If you think about the high-speed drill and how many dentists used that right angle tool, how many years, 70 years, and nobody ever thought about doing something over here with it. All they could think of was doing teeth with it. And you've used the equipment. You're all familiar with it. You've played with it. You've stayed with it. I mean, you've mixed with us now in many cases for many years. But why not sell the opportunity? And the next little bit, we're going to teach you how to use these videos that I've already put into place. They're already posted. They're already up. They're already finished. All I got to do is get you to the point where you begin to learn, okay, when do I share it with a new person? And when will it touch those nerves and really light people's lives up? Tam gets the most incredible phone calls because they'll see those videos we posted on the website. They'll, in some cases, watch that one video several times. They get so excited in what they see and what they bump into, because there's 80 million people out there tonight wishing like hell they could find a way to make a hobby something that would help them grow old, something they could get involved with, something that they could really enjoy. And starting a studio is just without a doubt one of the better things to do. Okay, any other comments? Anybody want to say anything on the show tonight? We're on our way. We'll just keep nudging this till we can have somebody to start having a shout out that I sold a kit, I sold a kit, I sold a kit. Okay? Good enough, guys. All right, have a good day tomorrow. Stay out of trouble for Saturday, and we'll catch you next week, guys. Thank you very much for taking the time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.